On Law Weekly today, we look at the role of the Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in the war against corruption, especially against the background of news reports that the EFCC has submitted to the office of the AGF a list of high-profile corrupt persons facing investigations. We have the views of a senior legal practitioner, Mr. Wahab, who currently prosecutes cases on behalf of the Anti-Graft Commission. We also have the highlights of the briefing from the Attorney General of Lagos on how the state is dealing with the rising cases of child abuse, sexual and domestic violence, plus our recap of the top trending stories from the courts. That's the lineup on this episode of Law Weekly. Hello and welcome. I am Shola Shoyeli. A list of high-profile cases involving over 100 politically exposed persons and top-ranking public officers still being investigated by the EFCC as of August 2017 is reported to have been sent to the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami, CJN, based on request. Several names have been thrown up by some sections of the media as being on that list, and these has expectedly generated reactions and denials. The move by the EFCC also appears to lay to rest speculations about a lack of collaboration between the Commission and the office of the AGF. But was there really a lack of collaboration? And has this move resolved same? What is the extent of each institution's powers in the war against graft? These were some of the questions I put to my guest, Wahab.
I would say there is no real understanding in practical times. I will also be quick to also admit that there is orchestrated misunderstanding, which does not reflect the realities on the ground. I say this because the two personalities at the headship of these institutions are people that one would say categorically are very passionate about the anti-corruption war and also very close and treasured by this administration. Abubakar Malami, the Attorney General of the Federation, is very passionate about the anti-corruption war, and that is reflected in the recent treaties between Nigeria and United Arab Emirates, which was signed by the President in order to beef up the anti-corruption war and ensure that stolen funds are repatriated back to Nigeria. And on the side of EFCC, Ibrahim Magu is on record as showing uncommon commitment to the fight against corruption. You saw a lot of recoveries that has taken place under his watch. His exemplary performance, including the recent 7.6 billion recovered from the former oil minister. At least, so both of them are committed. And then you know that the anti-corruption war is one of the main agenda of this administration. The present administration, headed by President Muhammad Buhari, is very committed to the war against corruption. And he has, appreciable long standing locally and internationally in terms of his commitment to the anti-corruption war. The perception of everybody, or majority of the people, is that President Muhammad Buhari is not corrupt, that he will not steal and cannot steal. The same perception is shared by the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo. So they believe that more than ever before, this is the time Nigeria is best positioned in terms of leadership to fight the scourge of corruption, which all of us agree is inimical to our developmental process. So basically, because of this passion shared by the office of the AGF and EFCC, one would not expect any misunderstanding. But I think there may have been some communication gap which needed to be closed, and happily this has been addressed. Now it is clear that both of them stand on the same page. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice is the Chief Law Officer of the Federation, is the National Legal Advisor, the Chief Legal Advisor to the government of the Federation. So all institutions, including the EFCC, necessarily must defer to the Attorney General in terms of directives about the way forward. But you must also not forget the fact that these anti-graft agencies are also serviced by the law. They are created by the law. They have enabling instruments under which they function. And so long as these institutions keep within the limit or permissible limits of the instruments creating them, there ought not to be any form of conflict. But since perceived misunderstanding was advertised, I think the two, fine gentlemen at the headship of this in institutions now realize that it is necessary for them to show in practical terms that there's really no misunderstanding, and that has informed public, advertisement of the list of politically exposed persons sent formally from the office of the EFCC to the office of the Attorney General, which list is now in the public domain.
Let's stay with the published list of the high-profile corrupt persons, which includes the name of the CJN. We've seen a lot of denials and counter-denials, but what do you think of that list and the publication?
I think whoever may have orchestrated the mischievous leakage of that list and attempted to also include the name of our esteemed and highly respected Chief Justice of the Federation in that list has done a great disservice to the administration of justice generally. We all know that His Lordship, Honorable Justice Walter Onoghen, is a man of sterling integrity in terms of performance over the years and in terms of the way his commitment to the anti-corruption war. And then people should also realize that publicizing such a list and mischievously including his name is not something, it has not done any credit to the administration of justice generally. Because the Chief Justice of the Federation is a symbol of justice of any country. And that is also the symbol of confidence. People look forward to him for trust, for credibility, for integrity, for confidence. And there's nothing to suggest that he's found wanting in any of these parameters. So those who have included the name of our venerable Chief Justice in that list are enemies of Nigeria. I'm aware as a counsel to EFCC that the Chief Justice of the Federation is not under investigation. The man does not have integrity deficit. The man is incorruptible. And I think